The one in the duck feather cloak is a traveler, explorer, a figure that moves around the alternate universe that is the other side of the world. The character's cloak gives it the ability to fend off any external forces. These might include tornadoes, volcanoes, lightning, to more internal kind of effects such as insanity, negative imagination, ego, to other hazards such as drowning, plane crashes, even something like being buried to death. This allows the character to explore various concepts on the other side of the world without facing any of the consequences that might come along with being within those events or places or incidences where it might negatively impact them. As the one in the duck feather cloak explores these different environs, it begins to take on a greater level of sentience. When we first meet the one in the duck feather cloak, it is possessed of a sort of childlike innocence, so it doesn't really have any notions about morality or how one should act in a given circumstance. And as it travels across the other side of the world, it begins to learn a little bit. In part 3 of The Other Side of the World, the character for the first time begins to take a more active role in the other side of the world, whereas before it was more of a passive observer, someone that was just transporting back images and ideas to us here in our world. In part 3 of The Other Side of the World, it begins to actually play a part. It begins to interact with the flowers. It begins to interact with the environments. It's going to be interesting from here on out to see where the character goes. Now that it's sort of broken the barrier between itself and the locales within the other side of the world, I'm interested in exploring what this character might do now that it knows a little bit about the positives and negatives of humanity, the good things that we do, the terrible things that we do, the connections between us. And I think it's going to be a really interesting experience to see where the one in the duck feather cloak goes from here, and if it can have an impact on us in our actual real world.